So we talked about the growth mindset, the routine, the CEO mindset, the hiring mindset, the importance of leadership. And then the last pillar, which I think is really important and it really should be being worked on all the time across all of these, is marketing. So in marketing, why is marketing so important? Because for marketing, as real estate entrepreneurs, we want to find deals, we want to raise capital. And what we're trying to do here is we want to create a personal brand. I highly recommend you create a personal brand. When you're first getting started, it's hard to have a personal brand. You're really going to be leaning on other people, other successful general partners to give you that clout to be able to get your own deals. But you really want to focus on creating a personal brand. And I'm going to share with you right now a formula that I've learned along the way. It's a very simplified version of how you can actually create a personal brand. So what does that look like? The most simplistic way I can put it is it's in your message and how you do your messaging. And you might have heard it as similar to like an elevator pitch, but here's how you can structure it. So you're going to use this framework. If you don't have it already, use this. I help X get Y without Z in Q. So let's go over what this is. I help X is people. So I help people get Y. That's the result. So I help people get results without any pain. And then Q, if you want, you can quantify that. Okay. So an example of that would be, I help busy corporate professionals, X, get passive income through real estate investing, Y, without having to do any of the work. That's Z. So this example, I don't have it quantified, but you can see it's a pretty simple statement. So if somebody says, what do you do? I help busy corporate professionals get passive income through real estate investing without having to do any of the work. It gets somebody's attention. You are clearly identifying who the person is you're trying to relate to, a busy corporate professional. You're clearly communicating the result, passive income through real estate investing, and the pain point without having to do any of the work. So I'm going to give you one more example, and that is I'm going to add the quantification piece of it. I help busy professionals. I'm getting a little bit more generic here, but I help busy professionals, X, double their money every 3 to 5 years by investing in apartments. So that's Y and Q, because I've added exactly double their money every 3 to 5 years, quantify, by investing in apartments. That's the result, without having to do any of the work. So very simple. You can take this, just use this exact one if you want, but take it and you can work this into your marketing message right here. What do you do? So you're identifying with your avatar. That's the person you want to work with. You're clearly identifying the pain point. You're talking about your results and you're quantifying it. Squish all that together, and that is really the core of your marketing material. All right, so we talk about why do we want to do this? Because it allows us to find more deals and raise more capital. You want to create a personal brand. And within that, I'm going to give you an example here on the next slide of some of the next bullet points here. But when you are doing creating a personal brand, there's one-to-many marketing, and that's really where you're getting on social media, or maybe you're doing ads or something like that, where you or even email marketing is where you have your message and it's going out to a lot of people. That's one-to-many marketing. So creating a personal brand, most of that is through one-to-many marketing. Then from there, you follow a method called give, ask. So when you're marketing, what you're trying to do is add value constantly before you ever ask for anything. This is where you have, lead magnets is what it's called, but give, ask. And the ask is your call to action. And then from there, you have to, when someone says, when you ask and someone raises their hand and they say, hey, I'm interested, that's when you convert your engaged leads. And that is one-to-one marketing. So you have one-to-many marketing where you're talking to the masses. You're just, all these other people out there, but you're trying to get attention from the crowd. And then you have a one-to-one marketing. And that's where you have a direct conversation with somebody. This is Zoom, this is dinner, this is a phone call, but this is your one-to-one, face-to-face, if you can, ideal marketing. So I'm going to present that to you a little bit different, give you a nice visual for it. Okay, so here is a simplified sales funnel is what I like to call it. So the first thing you have is awareness, and awareness. So think of this really as putting your ads on a billboard someplace. So you're basically in awareness. You're trying to get someone's attention, and that could be, like I mentioned before, that's posting on social media, running ads, running a booth at an event, or maybe even attending a networking event. These are people that you've never interacted with before, they've never seen before, and you are trying to get them to just see you and listen to you and hear you. This is just, they don't know you from anybody else, but you're just trying to make them aware. Then you move down in the sales funnel, and that is where you begin to get interest. So now, from an interest standpoint, they've seen you. Now they're starting to consider or become interested in what you have to offer. So think like this. They're going to be downloading a lead magnet document, or maybe they're attending one of your webinars, or maybe you've got a meetup group. And so you've done your advertising. I'm not saying it's paid, but you've done your advertising. They've seen that you got something going on, and then they're now starting to consume your content. So you're going to be creating content in number one. Content is for awareness, and then you got a different type of content and interest, and that's where people are going to start consuming what you have. So you're going to have ads really on the front end, and then driving interest. You're going to have something where people can consume your content. And then once you've warmed them up, they've gone from cold to warm and they're hot, this is where you get into the conversion phase. And from a multifamily real estate perspective, really what you're doing is you're creating awareness. Hey, I help people double their money every 3 to 5 years without having to do any of the work. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Then you give them some interest. Hey, why don't you read my little ebook that I wrote? It's only a few pages. I think you'll really find it very interesting. So they consume that. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. I want to invest with you. So then you have that conversation around here. And this is where you say, look, I've got an opportunity coming up. Would you like to invest? This is what it would look like. And they say, absolutely. So that is your conversion phase, is where you actually have that one-on-one conversation. You're asking for someone to give you a commitment, and they're going to hand over their hard-earned money to you in exchange for the result that you've been promising through your marketing message. And then the last phase here is loyalty. And loyalty is, it's really what it says here. After you've been delivering on your results, you would go back to your customers, and then you ask them for testimonials. And this is where they reach out to their friends or they do testimonials. But this is where once you funnel them in, they have loyalty. And then if they do it right, they put people back at the top of the funnel, but they move through a little bit faster because the referrals moves people quickly through the awareness phase and gets them interested because they already are leveraging the trust of someone that they know. So that is the simplified sales funnel. And really, I realize it's a lot of information, but those are the 6 frameworks that if you really begin to focus on those and start putting those into practice, and I realize it's a lot, but now you've got some direction you can start following to truly become not just a multifamily investor, but a multifamily real estate entrepreneur. So next steps here is be active in the community. 2, ask questions. 3, I can't say this enough, help other people. We all need help. Help the person that you used to be, and that's going to give you a lot of fulfillment. And watch the additional training videos that we're going to be putting out. And I just want to thank you for your time. And once again, a quick overview of the 6 frameworks. You work on your personal mindset, work on your routine, start thinking more like a CEO and less like an investor. Not saying set down the investing part, but just think strategically like a CEO. At some point, you're going to need to hire staff. I recommend you start planning on that now if you haven't already. You want to be an effective leader, and you want to see your staff be successful. And then lastly, you're going to focus on the mindset. So I hope you found this video useful, and I'm excited to see you grow. And don't forget, connect with me on Instagram, and thanks for watching.